Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is we are going to be writing our equation in slope-intercept form. And so when you look at your equation, sometimes it might already be given there. In this first equation, it is already given in slope-intercept form. And so we're just going to identify our slope and our y-intercept. Now, I generally have you on any tests or quizzes or so forth identify those for me. And so I want you to tell me that m is 2/5 and your y-intercept is 0.7. So I want you to give me that information. And so again, if I go to graph, remember we always start with our y-intercept because that's what we consider our starting point. And so I'm going to go 0.7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to do a slope of 2/5. Now, since the slope of 2/5, if I'm doing rise over run, that would tend to indicate I need to rise to and run in the positive direction 5. Now, that's not going to fit on my graph. So remember, that is a positive. I could do just the opposite. I could think of it as a negative and a negative because overall that's still positive. So that's what I'm going to need to do. So I'm going to go down 2 and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that becomes my point. And then we're going to draw our line. And I do want you to use a ruler all the time. So most kids just use their lanyard. It works great as a straight edge, but you're welcome to get a ruler. If you get a ruler, I would say just get a little 6-inch ruler or any kind of like laminated card, anything like that that you would like to use as a straight edge. Your pencil, I don't care, but draw a straight edge. The other thing that you always need to do is put arrows at the end because this is a line. It does go on and on. Okay? So number 9, we're going to go ahead and run through that as an example for you. Now, that one, when you look at it, is not in slope-intercept form. It is in standard form. And so we're going to change it to slope-intercept. So our first step would be to, again, remember we're solving for y, okay? And so we need to move everything to the other side. So the first thing I would do would be to move my x. And guys, this is pretty much consistently the same steps you do every time if it's in standard form and you're going to slope-intercept form. Now, I always put my x in the front and my number second because that's, again, going to put me in that y equals mx plus b form. And then divide. Now, this is my suggestion. You do not have to follow my suggestion. You can do it another way. But I divide everything by the 3. Okay, and then that keeps that mx and the b separate. Now, what I see a lot of kids want to do, I'm just going to put this over here as an example, is they like to do divide by 3, divide by 3. And again, that's fine, but at the next step, you have to separate it anyway. So that's why I just separate it. Now, remember, when you separate it, this 3 is divided by both of those. It's dividing it into both of those. So that's why I go ahead and separate it here. But it's your call. Again, remember there is a 1 in front of that x. So this would be your negative 1/3 x. And again, a comment that I will mention in class also and tell you, when you're doing this, guys, this x needs to look like it is either in the numerator or out to the side. What it cannot look like is that it is in the denominator. That would be completely wrong. Won't accept that. And one of the reasons why I push that at this point is because second semester we do rationals in which the x is in the denominator, and then you can get those two confused. Okay, next up, again, then is that I simplify and I get my 5. Okay, so now I have it in slope-intercept form. And so I am going to, again, identify my slope as being a negative 1/3 and my y-intercept as 0 and negative 5. So I'm going to go 0 and negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm ever off on this, it is my eyesight. I have a hard time with tracking those lines. So 0, -5, I have a slope of a -1/3, which would mean down 1 and right 3. Okay, and then again, I'm going to use a straight edge, draw, and put arrows on the end. Okay, so that is changing from any form to slope-intercept form and then graphing. And hopefully that's a review and you're not struggling too much with it. But if there is something, let me know.